What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be taking you through the way that I like to set up my single pin and or multi-pin sights. I like to call them slider sights. They've been called rovers, adjustable sights, long range sights, like however you want to call them. It's basically a sight that you can adjust your elevation on the fly. So a lot of single pin shooters use these type of sights. I shot it with a 3-pin for the longest time, and now I'm trying out that new UltraView 3 housing. So I'm going back to a single pin. But yeah, I'm just gonna show you guys how I like to set these sights up and get them dialed in, and that's pretty much it. That's today's video. So let's get right into it. Appreciate you guys. Here we go. All right, so the very first thing you want to do with any slider sight is make sure that if it has a second and third axis adjustment, which most all sliders will probably have, that those are adjusted correctly. I've made another video on this that I will link in the description if you want to see how to adjust the second and third axis on this particular sight. This is the Excel AccuTouch Carbon Pro. So now that we've touched on that, here's just a little bit about this sight in particular and how I'm going to be setting up my sight tape. So this flat portion right here is where the sight tape goes on these Excel Carbon Pros, and you can see on this side, so you can unlock it like this and then use this to adjust the sight up or down. So being this is the AccuTouch Pro, it's also got these little AccuTouch indicators that you can adjust once you've got your sight tape set up. You can adjust these to, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, stuff like that, just so you can have a quick adjustment and just be able to feel it and lock it into place. But so I'm gonna bring the indicator all the way up to the top where it's at right here, and we're gonna establish 20 yards on this particular sight rail. So I've already put this sight in the bow and established my left to right. So if you need to adjust that, I just move the main adjustment with the housing itself before I ever start moving my fine-tune adjustment here. So I'll adjust the main housing left to right just with the barrel, get that set up, maybe do some fine-tuning if I have to, but otherwise I'm ready to go with my left and right. If you take the Excel sight tapes or just any of the sight tapes in general, Spot Hog has their own, I think CBE, Black Gold, all of them have their own sight tapes. But as you can see on these sight tapes, they've got a 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100 marker. So I'm gonna start with my sight tape at 20 yards. I have no reason with that bow to go any closer than 20 yards. So I'm gonna establish my 20-yard marker, decide where that's at. I'm gonna put a mark with my pencil on the rail. Then I'm gonna step out to 60 yards, establish where 60 yards is, and I'll put a mark on that rail. So anyway, we're gonna get this thing slid onto the bow and establish 20 yards. So I'm making sure that I lock it into this same notch every single time I take this sight off and put it back on. I'm going back to that second indicator. So now we're gonna walk out to 20 yards and get this thing dialed at 20 yards, and then we'll start stepping back and figuring out our sight tape. All right, so I'm gonna make sure that I'm dead on 20 yards here. Right there. Okay, we're a little bit high. Okay, we got 2 that are high, consistently high. I'm gonna shoot a third one just to confirm that. Yep, so I've got 3 arrows that are all consistently high. So all I'm gonna do is adjust the rail with my elevation and bring it up just a hair, not much. Try that and see where that puts me. All right, so we made a slight adjustment, brought it up just a hair. Let's see where we're at now. It's a lot closer. Oh yeah, that one was dead center. So just that slight adjustment brought me down about 2 inches. Starting to slap arrows. Okay, grab this camera. Okay, this is what I'm looking for when I'm baselining my 20 yards. So we're all, as you can see, pretty well, maybe just a little bit high of the overall center, but I'm super happy with that elevation. So I'm gonna call it right there. I'm gonna make a mark right here on my sight rail to determine my 20 yards. So we'll go back to the bow, show you how I do that, and then we'll start stepping back and determining where my 60 yards gonna be. All right, so I've determined that where that pointer is right here is my 20 yard baseline. So what I'm gonna do is take this pencil and make a mark right at that point. Get this even. So I know that that's my baseline to come back to. Okay, you can see that pencil mark on the rail now, right there. That's my baseline at 20. So now I'm gonna move that elevation, gonna find where maybe 40 is, and then step back to 60 and make another mark. Probably be down here somewhere. So now I'm just gonna start at 40 yards. Roll it just a little bit. I only rolled it down maybe a 1/4 inch or so, just to baseline where my 40 yard is going to be before I step out to 60. More or less just so I don't miss the target entirely when I step out to 60. So we'll see where we're at 40 here. Okay, I'm a little high at 40, so I moved it too much. Gonna move it back up high, lock it in there. All right, so I'm a little bit high at 40, which is perfect. That means when I step out to 60 yards, I'm not gonna be winging it over the target. So I'm just gonna lock it in there, step back to 60, and try to get a grouping. All right, so now that we've got 20 established, stepping out here to 60. We'll throw a 6 arrow group down there, see where we're at for up and down, and adjust as necessary. See where we're at. Okay, tighten the group up quite a bit, and we are way closer to where we need to be. Need to move it. I think consistently the group is still high of center, maybe 3 inches in total if this whole group were to be moved down just slightly. So I think what I'm gonna do is just make a real slight adjustment on my sight, shoot it again, and then if I get it down into that center, this type of group down in the center, I'm gonna be real happy with that at 60 yards, and we'll make another mark. All right, back out here at 60 again. Double check the yardage. We're real close with the group. Real close, but we are slightly high. So I'm moving it just ever so slightly, not much at all. We're only a couple inches high at 60, so we're gonna shoot another group, see if we can get that entire group to move down just a hair. And then we'll call it at that and go find a sight tape that matches, double check it at 80. We'll be good. See what we got. All right, that's what we wanted. All right, so left to right, I had a few, one off to the right, one a little off to the left. Super happy with these 4, but all in all, that tells me my elevation up and down is in really good shape right now. So I'll probably shoot one more round just to double check it, and then put a mark on the sight and start looking for sight tapes. But yeah, I like that. I got to clean up my left and right a little bit, but that is good group in my eyes. So get these pulled out. Double check it one more time, and then we'll throw sight tape on it. All right, so I double checked it again, and that marker right there is consistently my 60-yard mark. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a pencil mark right here and then find a sight tape that matches it. Okay. Okay, so now I've got a mark at my 20-yard and a mark at my 60-yard. So now I'm gonna find a sight tape that matches those two, and then I'll double check it out to 80 yards down here. So let's find a sight tape and cut her out, get her stuck on there. Okay, so I found my sight tape. I'm gonna cut it out and show you what we're looking for with aligning it on the rail. Okay, so what you're looking for in order to align these is to line up the 20 with that first mark, your 60 with that second mark, and as you can see, 20 and 60 line up perfectly there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this sight tape right on 60, line it up with 20. That'll be the new sight tape for this rail. We'll go check it out at 80 after the fact. Got that new sight tape set up. Good to go. I'm gonna just double check this thing at several different yardages, make sure it's all set up and ready to rock. All right guys, so I just finished up double checking my tape. I just shot out to 80 yards, but I grabbed a couple more arrows and I shot 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70, all at the same top dot, and then I shot a 4-shot group at 80 just to confirm everything. All in all, I think it's done. We're good to go, and yeah, that's how I set up my sight. Oh, also, the other thing I was gonna say, on that tape, I also like to put a piece of like clear Scotch tape over it. It just kind of double weatherproofs it, and then ensures that that sight tape doesn't slide up and down. When you're hiking around with it, maybe it'll get wet, something like that, and it just ensures no movement. So double tape that with a little bit of clear Scotch tape. You're good to go. This sight is set up. Can't wait to start hunting with it. So anyway, that's it guys. Appreciate y'all watching. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to smash the subscribe button, give this video a like, and we will catch you on the next one. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in